I'm Katie Scott-Curty, Head of Reputation and Communications, speaking today with Paul Druckmann, Chief Executive at the IIRC, one of our most core strategic partnerships. We're going to be talking about our shared vision for the future and also the value that our partnership brings. Paul, can you talk us through the important roles that Charles Tilley, our Chief Executive at CIMA, and Barry Melancon, the Chief Executive at the AICPA, play formally for the IIRC?
If we go right back to the beginning, with the creation of the IIRC, then both were involved. Barry is leading work where we're creating a US committee. With Charles, I asked Charles to lead the framework task force. Charles pushed it through and really made what I believe, we get very little challenge on the framework. And Charles should take pride in driving that through as the chairman of that. The whole of CIMA, but Charles leading that, have been very close to us and very much, there is an evident synergy, and Charles encapsulates that.
Talking of Charles, you recently, just to talk practicalities, had a tour of Southeast Asia in 2015 where you took integrated reporting and integrated thinking to Malaysia. What were your key findings, observations from that?
I think there were two key areas. The first was sort of enhancing the profile of integrated reporting. The second was really an understanding in the region that this wasn't just for the very biggest organisations.
And that leads us very nicely actually into the B20 work that we jointly lobbied on and the B20 SME task force. What was your personal highlight from that activity?
We had a great impact, frankly, in the Turkish presidency across a number of task forces, but the big win was really in the SME task force. I think what came out was that there was a key recommendation, and the case studies that CIMA did around SMEs and integrated reporting, integrated thinking. And the fact that the main output of the whole of the B20, the Turkish presidency, was this idea of the World SME Forum, which is now being established and set up. And ongoing through the G20 process. And the fact that integrated reporting is embedded in that World SME Forum is something that will be a legacy that you and CIMA have enabled integrated reporting to be part of.
What would you say your future strategy is in terms of how CIMA can support the IIRC and what you're really aiming for with integrated reporting?
The big move where CIMA's main role, as I would like to see going forward, is really embedding this concept of integrated thinking. The fact that integrated reporting tends to be thought about as just an output of something physical is really something that the CIMA have really focused on the piece before, which is frankly more important. And we would look to CIMA to continue to raise that profile of embedding good principles behind integrated reporting at the end of the day.
Thank you very much, Paul.